We've got a big one today in store, guys. I can't believe I have to talk about this. I can't believe that this is still an issue, that people are still talking about this, a week later. But the Winnipeg Jets and Minnesota Wild fans have been going at each other for over a week now. Obviously, there's, that division rivalry in the Central, but, stuff has been heating up, and it all sparked from December 30th. So we go in the corner here. Kirill hits Brendan Dillon with a little bit of a reverse check there, and Brendan Dillon goes into the corner and gives him 2 cross checks. Now, Kirill Caprizov goes down. He's pissed, obviously hurt. But look, this is seriously the play that Minnesota Wild fans have been whining about, have been crying about for over a week now. The cross-check that happens, dozens of times during the game. Yes, cross-checking is a penalty. That probably should have been 2 minutes. Absolutely. I'm not saying it shouldn't have been. But if you're crying for a suspension, if you want him dead, you're pathetic. I'm sorry. That happens every game. You got Marcus Foligno doing that every game. You got Ryan Hartman doing that every game. Don't act like that doesn't happen. Don't act like your team's not doing it. But now, the thing with this whole thing is that Minnesota Wild fans are saying that he was targeted. Kirill Kaprizov got hurt for the second game in a row playing the Winnipeg Jets. So I had to think, when was the last time Kirill got hurt? What happened when Kirill Kaprizov got hurt? And this was the play. I can't believe that I have to defend Logan Stanley here. He's over a foot taller than Kirill Kaprizov. We all know the meme. Logan Stanley is 6'7". But Kaprizov tries to spin away here, and Stanley just can't react fast enough and ends up just landing on him. He's just that much bigger than the guy. Just fell on him, and he got hurt. That was from last season. Now, if you still believe that was targeting, Kirill Kaprizov himself will tell you that it wasn't, as you can see here from this tweet from Michael Russo. That is important. Keep that in mind who tweeted this. Now, we're going to go back to December 30th here. Brendan Dillon obviously had to fight, so he fights Keaton Middleton. That's about as useful as Keaton Middleton's been all season. So that's that, and you think, probably over at this point, right? Absolutely not. They actually had to fly over to St. Paul, Minnesota because the Jets and the Wild have a home-and-home series. So, this is part 2 on December 31st, New Year's Eve, and right off the drop, Pat Maroon fights Adam Lowry. I mean, you can't really say that was unexpected. They're still pissed off that Kirill's out. That's fine. I really don't have an issue with that. That's just hockey that happens all the time, right? But let's take this a step further. Ryan Hartman goes into the face-off draw with Cole Perfetti and accidentally on purpose, clips him in the face. Everyone knows that's on purpose. Let's take a look at that again, why don't we? Yeah, very clearly on purpose. I don't think anyone was doubting that. Ryan Hartman's a career scumbag, and this actually warranted his 7th fine in his NHL career. He's got 3 suspensions and 7 fines now. Hall of Fame status right there for, dorks, goons, I don't know what you want to call them. Going after smaller players is one of Ryan Hartman's skill sets. I mean, he went after Nikolai Ehlers last year. Ryan Hartman had the puck, stopped playing it, and then cranked Nikolai Ehlers, headshot at him, and that warranted a suspension. So, I don't know. Ehlers, now Perfetti, pretty interesting. Now, here's the dumbest part of the entire situation, maybe the funniest part as well. Cole Perfetti was actually mic'd up that game. He was asked by a reporter, if Ryan Hartman had, made it obvious that it was intentional or anything. And Cole basically, just to sum it up, said, he told me I was mic'd up. And, if that was in court, if he was trying to, plead his defense, he wouldn't have much of a case. So I thought that was kind of funny. So whatever, the game's end, we move on. And 4 days later, Michael Russo says, I have to hand it here to the Jets for airing Hartman's alleged admission publicly. Distracted everyone from the fact that the second year in a row they've targeted Kirill Kaprizov and knocked him out of the Wild lineup indefinitely. Only difference between Hartman and the Jets, he allegedly admitted it. So I don't know if you caught that there, but that is the same Michael Russo that tweeted earlier on last season that Kirill Kaprizov wasn't targeted. That's word of mouth right from Kirill Kaprizov. And now he's saying that it was. So that's kind of funny. You're just contradicting your own writing just to fit your narrative right now that the Jets are this big evil team full of goons. And, he's the beat writer for the Minnesota Wild, works for The Athletic. So he's definitely, trying to, pander to his audience. And they've definitely taken the bait. Also, if you haven't noticed, the Jets didn't ever air anything out. Cole Perfetti was asked a question by a reporter, by a beat writer, that is the same job Michael Russo has. He answered the question. The Jets didn't go out of their way to make a statement saying, hey, Ryan Hartman did this, and, we have it on recording, wah, wah, wah. They didn't do that. Perfetti was asked a question, and he answered it honestly, and that's that, baby. But now you're probably wondering where this audio is. Well, the Jets would like to release it, but the Minnesota Wild will not sign off on it, so the audio will never be released. That is confirmed in Michael Russo's latest article, where he actually went and interviewed Ryan Hartman. He asked Ryan Hartman, did you say that stuff that you said to Cole Perfetti that he's saying you did? And he said no. Of course he did, right? But he didn't say that he didn't do it on purpose. But of course he's not going to come out and admit he did it if the audio is never going to come out, right? So it makes no sense for him to do that. So, we're never going to know. We're never going to hear the audio. I wish we would, because I would love to laugh at Ryan Hartman. Again, love excuses to laugh at Ryan Hartman, but unfortunately, I don't think we're getting any, concrete evidence ever for this one. Now, Ryan Hartman goes on just to make himself look even worse, and he kind of just says if everything was said on the ice that was released to the media, there'd be a lot of people in the league in trouble, and that's totally true. Like, we know a lot goes on in the ice. There's definitely some players saying some stuff that's definitely, wouldn't fly on the media portion through Twitter. Players would be getting canceled for sure. But then he goes on to say, I don't know, I guess we're in a different age where kids talk to people about what's said on the ice. You'd think that that thing would stay on the ice. Okay, well, whatever, Ryan. Now, let's summarize what I've just talked about. Brendan Dillon probably should have gotten 2 minutes for cross-checking Kirill Caprizov, but at the end of the day, there's no suspension to be had there. It sucks that he got hurt. I really like Kirill, but unfortunately, it is what it is, and it's unfortunate. They go have their little fights, the Middleton-Dillon one, the Lowry-Maroon one, and that should have been it. Ryan Hartman decided to take it a step further, slash Cole Perfetti in the face. Shouldn't have happened, just a bonehead move there. And then, you just get more media problems with Michael Russo kind of just pandering to his audience and trying to get a rise out of them and, making the Jets look bad when the facts aren't, maybe as straight as he is making them out to be. Cole Perfetti goes out there, answers a question, and then he's getting flamed for it by Wild fans. He's being called a bitch. He's being called a whiner, all this shit. When that didn't happen, and all that misinformation was spread by Michael Russo, that the Jets leaked it. The Jets never leaked it. Cole Perfetti was asked a question by a beat writer, and I don't know how he's the bad guy here. He's the guy that got slashed in the face, and then he said what happened. Whatever, I don't know. Wild fans, you're interesting for that one, I'll tell you that. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the Wild fans going here and saying that the Jets are a bunch of goons. No, they're not. They're a tough team to play against, and they beat your ass twice, back to back, and Kirill just happened to get hurt. That sucks. I feel bad for you guys. I mean, having Nick Petan in your top six is not fun, but don't spin it like, oh, the Jets are targeting our players. We can't play against the Jets because they hurt our players. When you have Ryan Hartman running around doing what he does. I didn't even talk about Marcus Foligno kneeing Adam Lowry last year when he was down on the ground after they had a fight. You've got a third line that consisted of Pat Maroon, Fred Gaudreau, and Marcus Foligno. You've also got Ryan Hartman. You've got Keaton Middleton, Zach Bogosian. You've got a bunch of shit clunkers on your team that don't really know how to do anything except hit or fight or, be useless. And in Ryan Hartman's case, just go out to try to hurt the smaller players on the team. So I think it's really hypocritical that the Wild fans are coming out and saying that, oh, the Jets are, a dirty team and everything like that, when they are a team of dirty players. And that's backed up by, tons of suspensions for Marcus Foligno, Ryan Hartman, Pat Maroon. List goes on. You can talk about it all day. But that's what it is, baby. And that's cold, hard facts. If you want to, dispute in the comments, go ahead. Argue with the wall, but these are the facts. This is what's been going on for the last week. I suggest you drop it. It's over. It's done. You guys look pathetic. Minnesota Wild fans are, in the state of hockey, quote unquote state of hockey. You'd think that they'd be smarter than this. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you feel like it. Talk to you later. Go Jets go. Bye-bye.
I think that, they've always kind of been polite. Grateful to be back in the league, happy to be back in the NHL. I think this was a little bit of, sometimes in this league, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and you got to stand up for yourself a bit. I think the whole thing's really interesting. I think it was the Jets saying, generally we're pretty nice guys. We're not going to be nice guys about this one.